You ever make a tiny decision in a game and then suddenly realize, boom, you've locked yourself into a completely different ending? Like, I just turned on a random oven in the snowfield and now half the lands between is after me? Life is kind of like that, not just the big, obvious choices, the dramatic yes or no moments, but the small ones, the ones we don't even think about, the shortcuts we take, the things we don't say, the moments we let slip by. Every little thing builds the path we walk, and most of the time, we don't even notice.
Welcome, Tarnished. It seems the tower has grown since last we spoke. To those who have walked these halls and support with a subscription, my thanks. Your presence has made this place richer. Your comments have given it warmth. And to those who arrive for the first time, take your seat by the fire. This is a place of stories, and today's is a fine one. Today we speak of choices. Not just the grand, world-shaping ones, but the small, quiet ones. The ones we make without even thinking. In games, they can decide the fate of kingdoms. In life, they shape who we are. And before we begin, I ask you, what story should we tell next? I want to listen to you, my subscriber. If you have any thoughts or story you can share, leave your words below, for every tale starts with a voice willing to speak.
We often think life's defining moments arrive with fanfare. Big decisions, big consequences, but if you really look back, you'll notice the most meaningful changes started small. A conversation you almost didn't have, a path you almost didn't take, a habit you picked up, or one you let go. In games, every choice leaves a footprint. The little things, a single dialogue option, a small favor for an NPC, even the order in which you explore, can completely shift how the story unfolds. And the same happens in life, not just in the dramatic, cinematic ways we expect, but in the everyday, invisible ones. Think about it. Maybe the biggest turning points in your life weren't the obvious ones, but the ones that felt ordinary at the time. That time you stayed home instead of going out. That random hobby you picked up. That message you almost didn't send. We don't see the weight of our choices in the moment. Only later, when we look back, do we realize how the smallest ripples became waves. And here's the thing. Inaction is a choice too. Not making a decision is still making one. Skipping an opportunity, choosing silence, letting fear steer the wheel. We don't always get to know where our path leads, but we do get to choose whether we step forward or stay still. And staying still, that's a path too. This isn't to say we should obsess over every little move, afraid to make the wrong choice. No, it's the opposite. Knowing that small things matter means we don't have to wait for some grand, life-changing moment to shape our story. Every day, with the smallest choices, we are writing it, step by step. You don't wake up one day and realize you're at the climax of your story. You get there by the choices you've been making all along. Recognizing this puts you in control. You are not a side character, you are the protagonist. Let this be your takeaway. Small choices matter. Not just the ones that seem important, but the ones you barely register. The habits, the routines, the paths you take without thinking. Your story is being written in the quiet moments too. And if you listen closely, you might just hear the pages turning. So, Tarnished, as you leave this place, I ask, what small choice will you make today? And where will it lead? Maybe you'll take a path you've never taken before. Maybe you'll say something you've been holding back, or maybe you'll just take a moment to pay attention. Whatever it is, know that it matters. Until our next meeting, may your blade stay sharp and your heart sharper still.